So I had a good reading month. And to be honest, these books are all misleading because I started reading all these books this month and I did not finish all of them. But we'll get into that. Hi everybody, I'm Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka JND, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we are doing a June wrap-up. So June has concluded, and wow, I feel like it just flew by. Like, I don't understand where it went. Okay, bye. I guess time is a fickle concept. In the month of June, I did manage to read 9 books. But guys, let's be real, I'm in the middle of 9 books right now. Who am I? Why did I do this to myself? And sadly, I read a large chunk of them in June, and then they've just kind of rolled over into July. So I'm going to mention a couple of those books too, but I am going to talk about the ones I did complete. Oh, and I quickly did want to mention, thank you guys for 900 subscribers. Like, I don't understand how that's humanly possible. I'm still shook to my core. So I want to do an assumptions video. So leave your assumptions about me down below. Let me know. What do you think about me? It'll be interesting to respond to them, and I will make a video and upload that later. Okay, so let's get into the video. So the very first book that I finished in the month of June was Under the Moon by Lauren Miracle, a Catwoman tale. So this is a graphic novel that DC, I think, commissioned, and it's so cool. It's a blue tint. It was a 4-star for me. It was a great introduction to young Selena. I did think that the character development was very good, learning about her youth and how she became who she is, but at the same time, I thought it did lack a good plot underneath it. I know comic books are kind of hard to judge because they are way shorter than a novel, but at the same time, there was a heist that happened in this book, and there was a criminal at large, and I think we could have started to focus a little bit more on that part towards the end of the novel. We did focus on it, but I think it needed more attention, a little bit more thrill, I would say, just to make it a better Catwoman story, because I feel like Catwoman, it's all about the adventure, the thrill, her freedom, her sassiness. So I think this was a great introduction, but I hope if they continue this, that it becomes a little bit more thrilling and a little bit more divisive too. So 4 out of 5 stars. I would recommend if you like comic books and you want to learn more about Catwoman. It's a great introduction. It's different than the original comics because she is quite a bit younger, but you also get Bruce Wayne in here too, so I'm a sucker for anything DC related when it comes to comics and books, because I think they do them justice. So this was a 4-star. Let's see. No. The next book I finished, I also gave a 4-star on Goodreads, but I feel like it's a little bit less. It's more like a 3.5 or honestly a 3-star. I'm still thinking about it. It was Evermore by Sarah Holland, which is the sequel and conclusion to Everless. So Everless is a story about a world where currency is time. You pay your bills by giving a year or month coin, and the first book, Everless, was so incredible in diving into this new world and giving us such jaw-dropping surprises. There were so many twists, and there's this fairy tale aspect that intertwines at the end that is so perfect. And I felt that everything was just so perfectly thought out in the first book. And in the conclusion, so the sequel, Evermore, kind of left me wanting more. The first book was so thrilling. I was at the edge of my seat. Like, I wanted, like, there were shocks and like twists at every corner. Whereas this, I feel like the whole entire book, the characters knew what they had to do. It was just a matter of doing it. They introduced new characters, but since so many other characters were kind of killed off, and like there was so much newness, and at the same time no plot or need for these new characters, in my opinion. So it left me wanting more. The ending wasn't super satisfying. It was quite predictable, and it just wasn't shocking. It was just like, okay, that's the natural next step. So I feel like after reading Everless and moving to Evermore, I was like, oh, I was kind of expecting more. So I was really disappointed in this. I still recommend Everless. I think that's a 5-star for me, but Evermore, the conclusion, you learn about the history still. You still get to learn about the characters a little bit more. I felt that it relied a lot on romance and some factors that I don't think were really well thought out, or at least they were thought out, but I felt them to be not as complex as the first one, if that makes sense. But yeah, gave this I'm gonna go with 3.5 stars. Try and make it aesthetically pleasing over here. So after I read those first two, I did start diving into some manga and comic books. So the very first comic that I read, I purchased Comixology recently, and I read Miss Marvel, which I thought was interesting. So I did give it a 4-star. I thought the story was super awesome, but I do feel that for some reason when they do minority characters, they feel that they have to really push their minorityness, like that she has strict parents and that she has, and I guess it is a really cool factor, and people feel seen with those kind of, that established story. But at the same time, I would love for a brown character to be brown but still as badass and as cool as the other characters. I feel like minority characters tend to be kind of clumsy, kind of, oops, I'm a hero now, what do I do? And I mean, like, if you compare that to like Batman, Superman, all those other characters, it's like, why can't you have brown characters like that? So I guess that's what my thought process was when I read this. I still think it was a very cute story, and I think it's very unique in itself. I just hope that in the comic world we could start having cool characters who are minority people that are just, you know, they are who they are, but that doesn't identify their superhero-ness. Does that make sense? I feel like, or maybe you could have stories that please both audiences. Like, yes, we don't have that many comics with Muslim teens, and that part of them is very important to be recognized, but at the same time you could have characters who are Muslim teens and super badass and not clumsy and maybe super strong and independent. So I feel like there just needs to be more variation. This is the first volume that I read, and getting into the plot and stuff, it was interesting. I feel like the plot in itself was just following her transitioning into accepting her superhero-ness and accepting that she doesn't have to act like other superheroes, which is cool. It was a great, like, it was a great comic and had a great message. But those are the thoughts that just came to me, I don't know. But yeah, it was a 4-star, and I do hope to continue the series, and I hope that she becomes, I don't know, slowly more confident, because that's what I think I want to see in a superhero. Like, of course, getting powers is shocking, but then at the same time, it's like, okay, where's my superhero-ish at? And we see a little bit of that in volume 1, so it was good. It was a good ride. The next two books that I picked up were Mars. It's a manga. I read volume 1 and volume 2. So volume 1 I did give a 4-star, and volume 2 I did give a 3-star. So I have not decided if I want to continue with the series. There's like 15 books, and they're all available on Comixology if you do the unlimited version of it. The first and second volume are so intense, and it's clear that some of these characters don't value their life, and they mention suicide a lot, so trigger warning for that. I feel like it's just so intense, and I feel like we're gonna learn why soon, like something serious happened in these people's lives. It also is kind of insta-lovey, but that's like, manga is always insta-love, to be honest. Like, you never have non-insta-love. But I just didn't enjoy how they talked about their life, and I really hope that they address it soon. And it's dramatic to the point of, I don't know if I want to keep reading it. I kind of like mangas that are a little bit more light-hearted. This one is very dark, so if you like a dark manga, I think you would love this. In the first volume, I did kind of want to give it a 3-star, but because it was so engaging, I gave it a 4-star. And then in the second one, I did give it a 3-star because I found it to be not as engaging, and to make the same kind of jokes and references to life being nothing. It was an interesting read, because I'm pretty sure it gets better, but if you like dark mangas, you would love it. Basically, the story is that there's this quiet girl, she falls in love with a bad guy, and this bad guy is like a race car driver, and he doesn't value his life, and she loves him. I feel like that's the gist of the story that I know of so far. I can tell that the author is going to make some really deep, like, emotional commentary, and just like, it's gonna happen eventually, but I don't know if I want to put myself through the dramatic, heart-wrenching stuff of reading about all those things before getting to that resolve, if that makes sense. The next mangas I read was volumes 1, 2, and 3 of L-KD. I'll put the picture up here. This one is totally what I was expecting for manga, completely lighthearted. Basically, the story is these two people live on their own, this girl and this boy, and they are neighbors to each other, but they're still in high school, and then one day this guy's apartment gets ruined, so they ended up sharing an apartment room together. You know, trouble ensues. It's very quirky, it's very fun, it's a 4-star. It's not super spectacular. It's very like basic shoujo manga that if you want something fun, lighthearted, lots of jokes, lots of tension, quirky characters, I would highly recommend this. I also really like the strong female character. I'm really tired of mangas having the weak girl who's ugly and plain and somehow the hot guy falls in love with her. Like that trope, I'm gonna try and stay away from now on because I don't think I like it that much. I think I am all about my strong female characters. So I really like this one because this is a very strong female character, though she has a big time crush. But she's still a strong and aggressive personality. So I think I relate to that a little better. But yeah, I think I gave all 3 volumes 4 stars. Okay, and then my last physical read that I completed for the month of June, oh, that wasn't classy. Is it cute yet? Okay. Was Lady Smoke by Laura Sabatine. Okay, so this is a 5-star, and if you watched my last vlog that I uploaded recently, you see me freaking out about this because I read Ashe Princess and it was a good 4 out of 5. The story of Ashe Princess is a country was overthrown by an oppressor, the Kaiser, and they kill the queen and take the princess at the time, who was 6, and kind of have her under their thumb and control her. She's enslaved in the castle, and he has enslaved all of her people. It was a 4-star. It was cute, it had some romantic tension, it had magic. It was a good read. It was a good fantasy read. It's everything you expect. Oh, but the journey Lady Smoke took me through, I don't know if it's just because I want some romantic tension right now, because I have been enjoying contemporary a lot more than fantasy lately, but this gave me everything that I was looking for. Romantic tension, it gave me a lot of political devices, so I feel like if you like The Wicked King, you will definitely like this series, because there is that tension and that strong female character, but at the same time it's like I can't be romantically involved because I have things to do, so I feel like it's realistic to life. And I just have to say that the politics get 100 times better, and we are learning way more about the world, and the magic system that's being introduced, they don't understand it and they're trying to, and it's so interesting to learn with them, and like what's happening and the wars that will have to happen and the sacrifices you have to make. Oh, it was great. It was a great ride, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yes, that is the 9th book that I completed in the month of June. So I don't know, I feel like I need more people to read this series because the 3rd book's coming out, and I'm not ready for that. Just not ready. So if any of you guys watched my summer TBR, you might be wondering, where are 2 book series that you said you would read? Well, they're here. I have them in my pile. So I said I'd be reading Throne of Glass and Harry Potter in the month of June. And you know what happened was, I read 7 pages of Sarah J. Maas and 3 pages of Harry Potter. So yeah, I will get to these in July. But I just wanted to let you know, I'm still gonna tackle them. It's still gonna get done. Oh my gosh, I will do it. Just wanted to mention that just in case anybody's gonna be like, Shay Jess, what are you doing? I'm doing it. I'm just, you know, really lazy, and mangas are kind of fun and fast to read. I can't help it. I will get into it. Maybe it's just so daunting to read such hyped books. And then 2 other books I quickly wanted to mention because I read a lot of them already is Jade City. I am 300 pages into this sucker, so hopefully I will finish this in July. I seriously need to. It's a good book. It's just I'm not totally engaged for some reason, and I think it's maybe because it's my first adult fantasy and the narrative isn't as like catchy as say Lady Smoke. I don't feel that there is any purpose yet. Well, I'm gonna keep reading it, but I did read like 300 pages of that in June, acknowledging that awesomeness. And then the last one that I started reading and I'm very close to finishing was The Devil's Thief, which is also a book that I featured in my last vlog if you want to see me react to that. But I read 500 pages of this in June. I only have like 190 some pages left. I read a lot, okay? a lot in June. So those are all the books that I managed to finish or get halfway through in the month of June, and I will keep doing reading vlogs throughout the month of July. I do have a play that I am in, so I may not be able to read as much, but I definitely still want to. But yeah, make sure you subscribe if you like these kind of videos, if you're a book nerd like me, whatcha. And again, thank you so much for reaching 900 subscribers. It's completely insane, oh my god. I'm not worthy. Thank you guys so much for your love and support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.